Hello everyone, it's time for business. I'm Charles Aite. Now, the government through the Ministry of Finance has signed a social partnership agreement with the Trade Union Congress TUC and the Ghana Employers Association to collaborate and finding a common solution to the growing unemployment rate in the country. Speaking at the launch, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta says government is committed to supporting the efforts of the private sector and employers in improving the country's economic fortune.
We are confident that this partnership arrangement will accelerate inclusive growth and transform the Ghanaian economy, expanding opportunities and creating jobs to better the lives of Ghanaians. The history of social contracts, as you know, as articulated by Locke or Rousseau or Rawls, all lead invariably to the state protecting freedoms and the rights of the society as the society grows. The World Bank's twin vision of eliminating poverty and improving shared prosperity will guide us as we build a transformed society for all.
Now, the Chamber of Telecommunications will soon introduce an insurance scheme to protect mobile money agents. That's according to the Chief Executive Officer of the Telecommunications Chamber, Ken Ashigbe, who has expressed worry over the growing attacks on mobile money agents. Mr. Ashigbe says the Chamber in the interim will continue to educate the agents on safe practice whilst partnering with the police to avert such situations.
The issue of mobile money and attacks on vendors, it's a security issue. It has nothing to really do with the technology. It's the fact that these criminals are finding those places to be easy targets, and so because there's money in there, they go in there and they attack them. We've seen attacks, on, I think very recently there was a bank that was attacked. We've seen attacks on filling stations and all of that. So for us as an industry, one of the things that we were doing, working together with the regulator, Bank of Ghana, is that one, we've started an agency registry where we're registering, ensuring that all the agencies, the mobile money agents are properly registered, their geographical locations are known. So we're doing a lot of education on the agents themselves, because part of it is also because of the way they handle themselves. Locations are known. So we're doing a lot of education on the agents themselves, because part of it is also because of the way they handle themselves. How are their setups like? Where are they set up? And then we are also encouraging them to say that don't work late in the evening, but by a particular time, stop what you're doing. We're working with other partners to introduce other channels so that if it is late in the evening, you can go to an ATM, you can go to a bank, whatever services that it is that you're doing. We're working with them to also ensure that they don't keep too much cash, on themselves, so that they don't then become targets. There are conversations of looking into the possibilities of getting insurance schemes for all of them, so that when you are attacked, you can give the money out, because there's some insurance at the back. We're working with the police as well to ensure that we can put proper schemes in place that would ensure that these people are protected. Definitely, as an industry, we believe that it's one thing that we really need to deal with it, but it's also because as the mobile money phenomenon, the way it's been structured, it's not supposed to be for money transfer per se, where people, go and take big cash, and it's supposed to be a payments medium. So in the long term, one of the things that we're working with, and based on the Vice President's call of saying that we want to move, all people to government payments to be done electronically, would push and get to the point where we use mobile money more as a medium of payment. So you don't go to, these agents to go.
Local manufacturers have been urged to adopt new measures to remain highly competitive on the Ghanaian market, especially as government cuts down the benchmark price of import duties by 50%. President of the Traders Association, Ghana Traders Association, GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, warns that most local factories risk being kicked out of business if they fail to innovate. Immediately after the benchmark value reduction on import duties was announced, some local manufacturers expressed worry over the likely implication this could have on their business. With Ghana's import volumes higher than that of exports, the slash in import prices they argue, could make Ghana a dumping ground for foreign goods. President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, disagrees.
Theirs has been the fact that they are not being competitive. Theirs has been the fact that they cannot even give us credit lines. Already the duties for raw materials is very small. And then you have your raw material input also discounted. It means that you have the leverage.
According to GUTA, these new reforms will go a long way to make Ghana an international trade hub, which could translate into more revenue.
Importation is not only limited to Ghana. Even in Europe, they do more importation. US do more importation and all that. So it will be with us because we are in a global economy.
So far, Ghana's business community remains scattered on the impact the slash in benchmark import duties would have on their operations, while local manufacturers fear will spell doom for Ghana's brands. Importers, on the other hand, argue the slash will be a game changer for Ghana's trading community. Well, on that note, we do end this edition of Business